Well, thanks for coming out tonight. My name is Andrew Gonzer. We have a full agenda tonight, so we'll get right to it. If you have a cell phone, please turn it on vibrate or silent. There's a lot of people here for the first time, so I'm not going to ask for names and blocks. Just raise your hand if this is the first time you've been to one of these meetings. Very good. Thank you all so much for coming tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about a couple of different things, including some security issues. Mike Dawes is going to go over a high security steel door jam option. Nicole Conaway is going to talk about Mann Elementary, seeing as how she's the principal and all. Jake Hafner is going to tell us about the great new addition coming to our neighborhood, the Civil Life Brewing Company. And then Rachel, where's Rachel? Rachel, what's your last name?
Smith.
Smith, okay. Rachel Smith from the Circuit Attorney's Office is going to speak on the Court Watch program. And then at the end, if you've got some nuisance issues on your block you'd like to talk about, this is a good place to hash out those issues and brainstorm different activities and tactics to address them. Okay, so our block captain fund now stands at $530.66. We spent some money to sponsor a block for a block party in August, and we spent money on meeting signs. Somebody hold up one of those green signs back there. There we go.
Very nice.
You probably saw them in the neighborhood, or at least some of them in the neighborhood, to announce the meeting. And our newest steering committee member, Holly, would you stand up and raise your hand?
Hi.
Holly has volunteered to join us in helping to direct the program and plan the meeting, so thank you very much, Holly.
You're welcome. I need to come get some chairs, so
Okay.
sorry.
Also with us tonight is Christian. Raise your hand, Christian. Thank you, Christian, for all your help.
Thank you.
And Dustin with the camera and the blue shirt back there. Thank you, Dustin. Has anybody checked out the videos of meetings from the last 2 months on the YouTube channel?
Raise your hand if you've checked them out.
Anybody looked at the videos?
That's two of us.
We had such a hard time finding someone to take notes that we thought we might try a different approach and videotape the sessions and put them online for you to view. They're usually in pieces because they're pretty large files. But you can view a meeting that you've missed. And this will be the third so far, right? Third meeting so far that we'll tape for the benefit of those who couldn't be here tonight. Okay, so we're going to start off with Mike Dawes, who's going to talk about some high security steel door jams. Mike.
Great. Thank you. I'm going to try and speak without the microphone, so if you can't hear me, just raise your hand. My name is Mike Dawes, for those of you who don't know me. I live right down the street here on Juniata, and last month I was one of the lucky victims of a burglary. So what I did during the next 2 weeks, I got on the internet, I went to the locksmith stores and the Home Depots to try and figure out what I thought would be the best preventative measure to take so that it wouldn't happen again. So basically what you see here is what I purchased. 3 reasons I purchased it: cost, what I thought to be the most effective, and thirdly, the easiest to install for me. So what you've got is 2 pieces of metal that go right on top of each other. So it gives you a fairly thick piece of steel and not located in just one general area where your lock is. It screws all the way up and down your door jamb. So that if someone tries to bust in, hopefully, this is the way it's supposed to work, that lock, they will not be able to bust through this metal, these 2 sheets of metal. And they also will not be able to knock out the screws. Most of your locks, if you look, when it's screwed into the door frame, it's maybe only 3 inches. So if they kick hard enough, they can knock that section out. Whereas with this, it is screwed in almost, well, it's 5 feet long. So 5 feet of your door frame become the security. If you have new doors, they come with this handy punch out. So if you're doing this side of the door for your deadbolt, you can punch this part out, or if you're doing the other side of the door, you can punch this part out. The other reason I went with this system was if you've got old doors and your deadbolt is way up here or way down here and they're not in these holes, you can buy a $2 drill bit up at Home Depot. They're called a bimetal bit, and you can drill right through this wherever you would like to put your deadbolt at. So it makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes you'll see those smaller ones that are really thick and they're great, but if your deadbolt does not line up with the holes, it's a bear to kind of drill through. Now, how long does this take to install? If you have new doors, the good news is they install fairly quickly because there's a nice little gap between your door and your door jamb that's just wide enough for this to fit in and not cause your door to hang up. The bad news if you've got a new door, because I had a new door, that piece of wood where your deadbolt is, it's about that thick and it's new lumber, and I don't even think they had to kick my door. I think they just pushed my door with their foot because there was only one mark and there was no dent. So I think it was rather easy. So that's the bad news if you got a new door. It's really easy to break in, unfortunately, and they can tell sometimes when they look that it's a new door. I should say in a new door jamb, not just the door, but the door jamb. That's the important part. If you have an older door, you might have a little more trouble installing these because the gap is not wide enough, and when you install this, the door will start to stick. So if your door already sticks when you close it, what you're going to have to do with this is on your door jamb, chisel out a little bit of the wood, not too deep, just a little bit, but you're going to have to do it the entire 5 feet of this, which I had to do on one door, and like I said, it took me about an hour and a half, but I had all the right tools, I had the chisels and all that stuff. So, I'm getting the cost right now, am I ahead of time? You're doing perfect, very good. How much do these cost? If you go, you can only get them online through Home Depot or through the manufacturer. So if you get one through Home Depot, it's going to cost you $125 with shipping and handling. If you get 3 of them, it costs you $100 a piece because they give you free shipping and handling. After I bought 10 of these for my house and my parents and my rental property, I called the owner to ask a question, and he said, well, I wish you'd have told me you were buying so many of them. We have some at the warehouse that have little nicks and scratches on them that Home Depot won't buy from us. I sell those for $75 a piece, including shipping and handling. So I don't need any more, unfortunately. But if we could get a group of people in the neighborhood who were interested in this, and we got 12 of them ordered, it would cost each person only $75. So I have nothing to gain from this sales pitch, believe it or not, other than to help people prevent what happened to me happening to them. If you're interested, you can call me. My phone number is 314-773-7785. Andrew and Christian know how to get a hold of me, and my email address is mikesdaus@yahoo.com. And I can stop by and show it to you to see if it'll fit your door or not, if that makes things easier. So that is my spiel.
Are you going to be here for the meeting? Or
Actually, I have a sick child at home, and
See me.
if I don't get home soon, his mother will probably will test just how good these things work, and she'll probably be back now.
Mike, anybody can talk to me about if you want to get in on an order.
Yeah, what we'll do is I'll just keep it open for a month, and I'll keep everyone posted. Anyone who's interested, I'll let you know how many orders we have, and once we get 12, everybody can fork over to cash, and I will order them. It took me about a week to get these in, so, okay? All right?
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
Andrew, we have a whole lot of people back here. Can we ask that some of the really buff guys grab a bunch of those chairs and bring it back for us?
Would a couple people like to volunteer to carry a stack of these chairs to the back for some additional guests? Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Hey, Nicole Conway, principal of Mahan Elementary. Mahan,
There's your revision.
I'm going to go ahead and talk while our muscular men are and I appreciate that because I didn't know how to get in contact with you, so thank you very much. I'm the principal at Van Elementary School, and I started in July. I've been at home for 2 years because my husband was transferred with Wachovia, Wells Fargo, whatever it is today, 2 years ago. And we were in the Bolingbrook area in Chicago, Illinois. I was principal at Army Trail Elementary School in Addison. Prior to that, I was a special education teacher for about 4 years than I want to admit to you. I was chosen to come to MAN because I first of all missed the children. I just truly missed the kids. I was redecorating the house, putting in a pond, I was painting the walls. Nothing gives me the feeling like I get whenever I'm with the kids. And so I took the job and I told, because the school is failing. It is a failing school. And Dr. Adams said, so what are you going to do? And I said, I'm going to make it happen. He said, you're going to have to. So we went to the New York turnaround in New York with a couple of staff members in late July, early July, middle July, somewhere around in there. And New York turnaround is coming in to help us work with our data so that we can move these kids forward. So our logo became Make It Happen. And while we were sitting in New York, someone said to me, well, what is it? What are you going to make happen? We thought about it, and I looked kind of stupid. And my friend said to me that I brought with a counselor and one of the third grade teachers said, well, a student achievement. But our it is different for each and every one of us. The parents of the school, their it might be checking their child's backpack every night. Might be walking them to the bus, saying goodbye. Might be asking them, how did your day go? Sitting down with them and reading with them for half an hour. I asked the teachers, what's your it? Because one of the things I had to do was increase the staff by 50%. So I met with each person and interviewed them in a 30-minute interview and said goodbye to some of them. And then I rehired my own staff. So there's probably only 30% that remain from there, and then the rest of them are new folks, so you'll see some new faces. We have some very, very strict rules and high expectations at MAN Elementary School. If we're going to make it happen, I say to the kids every morning, what are you going to make happen? What are you going to do today? And one of the things that someone mentioned and asked me about is mandatory uniforms. Every single student at MAN Elementary must have a uniform. I don't punish kids. I don't send them home. I don't call parents. I have one for you. So come on down to my office, honey. I'm going to put one on you, and at the end of the day, you give it back to me. So there's no exceptions and no excuses at MAN School. Teachers can come to me and they can say to me, you know what, this kid comes from a bad family, or this kid has this, or this kid has that, and I don't want to hear it. No exceptions, no excuses. I was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. My parents were divorced when I was 6, and I took care of my brother and sister. I had a reading disability. I worked very hard. I got a scholarship from Valparaiso University. I went to school for special education. Taught special education for many years, and my plight in life is to go and share with other people that no matter what you come from, you can be anything you want to be. And so in each and every one of those children, I have high expectations for every single one of them. MAN School represents over 20 different languages. Over 20 different languages, that's amazing. The cultural diversity in that building is astounding. But our kids are failing. And so one of the things that we decided to do is guided reading. So every teacher must find out where their kids are and give them small group reading instruction 5 days a week. Another thing we're doing is response to intervention. We're taking data, sitting down and looking at the data and deciding what do these kids need. And we're doing power hours. So that 30 minutes of every day is dedicated to one group of children, and we sit down with all of our power players and say who needs what and who's going where. And our last thing is PBIS, which is Positive Behavior Interventions and Systems. And what that means is we don't assume that kids know how to act. We teach them. So in the lunchroom, this is how you act. This is what we expect from you. Whenever you're out on the playground, this is what we expect from you. Whenever you're working with your friends or you're in classroom, this is what we expect. And then we reward them with MAN money. So they get MAN dollars from me and from all the staff if they're showing readiness, respect, and responsibility. For $50, I buy them lunch from McDonald's. In my last building, I told them they could get whatever they wanted for lunch, and I ended up going to 5 different places for dessert and, their lunch, plus they wanted a little side dish. So McDonald's only, and then also we have a school store that we put together by donations from good people like you. McDonald's toys, different pencils, different kinds of erasers, fun stuff, and they came to the store today for the first time, and they've been telling me, oh, I saved up this much money, no, Mrs. Conway. I encourage you to stop in and take a look. When I first looked at the school, I said, you know what, I wouldn't want my kids going here. I didn't. I pulled up to the building, and to be honest with you, and I can't believe you're taking this, I cried in my car, and I called my friend and I said, I don't know if I can do this.